Wah, 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 wah. Conservative New Media viewers and Jeremy Lin fans around the world, we're here to discuss the beatdown that Houston received tonight by the Golden State Warriors in game number 67 of the 2012-2013 season. The final score of the game was 108-78 Golden State. The game took place in Houston, Texas, and it's definitely a major disappointment. Houston falls to 36-31 on the season. Golden State is now 38-30. If Houston had won this game, they would be in the number 6 seed in the Western Conference playoffs. But since they lost, they could be only one half of a game up on the Los Angeles Lakers, who are playing right now. They just started playing as I'm making this video. So Houston could be like basically half a game up from the 8th seed. Now, I still think Houston's going to make the playoffs. I will think they're going to beat out Utah. But the Lakers keep winning, and this is a tough loss for Houston. What happened in this game, the reason why Houston lost was because they couldn't shoot the ball. The first half of this game, there was a point in the second quarter where Houston was 5 of 29 from the field. And that's almost 1 for 6, which is like 16-17% shooting. You can't win a game like that. And they came back in the second half. They made a really good run in the third quarter. Got the lead down to like 5 points, but it just wasn't going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves game part 2, where they made the big comeback and everything was great because Golden State's better than that. And Houston ended up shooting 33% from the field for the game, which is just not good enough. Golden State's, their size, their defense, and they were hitting outside shots, which spread the floor, was just too much for Houston, particularly because Houston shot so poorly. And this is another game where you see that Houston could really use a better inside post-up presence on offense, and they just don't have that right now. So, again, that's why you hear the discussion about Dwight Howard and Andrew Bynum. Okay, let's talk about Jeremy. Now, one of the good things from this game is that Jeremy played well in this game. He and James Harden were the only two people on the Rockets who really played well in this game. And Jeremy finished up with 21 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists. He played 35 minutes, shot 9 of 16 from the field, 3 of 5 from three-point range, 0 of 3 from the free throw line, no steals, no blocks, 2 turnovers, no personal fouls. Plus minus was a minus 15, and his efficiency was a 14. So this is definitely a Linsanity 2.0 performance for me with 21 points on over 50% shooting. Now, Stephen Curry, who is the point guard for the Warriors, he did outplay Jeremy. Curry had 29 points, 5 boards, and 11 assists, and his efficiency number was 35. So he did outplay Jeremy, but he also played 10 more minutes than Jeremy, and Jeremy did well. Like I said, Jeremy is one of the only 2 guys on the team that played well. So even though it was a loss, I don't really consider it a revenge game or anything. Jeremy's done pretty decently against Stephen Curry, so it just the rest of the team just didn't get it done, and they didn't shoot well enough tonight. As I said, Harden and Lin were the only 2 guys that really, really had it going tonight for Houston. Carlos Delfino had a couple moments, but that was about it. It just got out of sync, and they couldn't get back into it in time, and it cost them. Okay, let's do quarter by quarter. Early in the first, Jeremy hit a 17-foot jump shot from like the free throw line extended out to the right. He hit that off the dribble, which is a nice shot. In the middle of the first, Jeremy drove to the basket, and he got hit. It looked like he got hit pretty good, but he put the shot up, and he wanted a foul call, but he did not get it. But again, I thought it was smart that Jeremy he's looking for fouls. I mean, he's trying to draw fouls, which is intelligent. Jeremy came out of the game for Patrick Beverley with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter. And at that time, the score was only 12-8. So almost 8 minutes into the first quarter, Houston had only scored 8 points. That just shows you how poorly they were shooting the ball at that time. Nobody could put the ball in the basket. So I think Coach McHale was probably looking for just, okay, I'll put Patrick in and see if he's got a little more spark in his offense or whatever. But that didn't work a lot either. Patrick Beverley wasn't hitting shots, and he wasn't really spurring the offense either. Jeremy actually came back into the game in the first quarter with about 13 seconds left. And I think it was I think they were trying to match up on defense. Golden State was like running one final play, and they brought Jeremy back in, I thought, to guard either Stephen Curry or one of the other guards. So he did come back in, which is very unusual. He usually does not come back in once he comes out late in the first. Jeremy did start the second quarter on the bench, though. So that was, again, he just came in for the one final play in the first quarter. He came back into the game with 8 minutes and 47 seconds left in the second quarter. I believe the score was 27-15 Golden State at that time. So again, Houston just wasn't scoring at all. And Golden State wasn't playing that well either. But Houston was shooting so poorly that it almost didn't matter. As long as Golden State shot okay, they were going to build a big lead, and that's what happened. Middle of the second, Jeremy hit a catch-and-shoot three-pointer from about 10 degrees right of the top of the arc. And that was a big shot. It felt like it kind of like started to get Houston a little bit of flow on offense. I mean, nobody was hitting anything. It was like Jeremy kind of stepped up and hit that shot, and that helped out definitely. Also in the middle of the second, Jeremy had a nice layup that he scored off of a pass from James Harden. And then as well in the middle of the second quarter, Jeremy dished to Omer Asik for a layup. And that was about it for the highlights for Jeremy in the second quarter. Now in the third quarter, Jeremy played very well, really well. Again, Houston was down at half by like 21 points, I think, something like that. And they got down 23 points, I believe, early in the third. And they made a big push in this quarter, and Jeremy was a big part of that. Early in the third, Jeremy hit another catch-and-shoot three-pointer from about 3 degrees right of the top of the arc. So another one, he was definitely feeling it tonight from three-point range. I believe he was 3 of 5. Early in the first as well, Jeremy hit a jumper from the free throw line off the dribble. Middle of the third, Jeremy hit an off the dribble three-pointer from about 30 degrees right of the top of the arc. And he just was really starting to heat up then. He was really starting to spark Houston's offense. And Golden State's lead was down to 11 points at that time. Also, middle of the third, Jeremy had a nice pass to Chandler Parsons for a three-pointer. That cut the lead down to 7 points. And then Jeremy had a layup that he scored in transition. That cut the lead down to 5 points. I believe that I take that back. He scored that layup, and then he scored another layup, and that was the one that cut the lead down to 5 points. That made it 62-57 Golden State. And again, this was in the middle of the third. So he scored a whole bunch of points in this quarter. Just really put on a big spurt, and that was really helping Houston to try to get back into this game. Unfortunately, 5 points was as close as Houston would get. Almost soon after Jeremy scored that layup to cut it to 5 points, then Golden State started pushing the lead back up. And by the time Jeremy came out of the game in the third quarter with 1 minute and 6 seconds left in the third, the lead was back up to 15 points. So Houston made that push, and they couldn't sustain it. And unlike the Minnesota game, you can't do that every single game, and they weren't able to do it tonight. Jeremy started the fourth quarter on the bench. When he came back into the game, he came in with 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. The score then was 77-60 for Golden State. So it was a 17-point advantage. Now, Houston made one more push in this game. They got the lead down to 11 points with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left. But I think that was about as close as they were going to get. In the middle of the fourth quarter, Jeremy had a nice little and one layup in transition. He drove right down the left-hand side of the lane, went through two guys, went through, I believe, Curry and Bogut, got hit, I believe, by Curry, scored the layup, and he got the free throw attempt, although he did not make it. Shortly thereafter, he made a really nice move. He dribbled right to about the top of the key. He put a little fake up, and Jarrett Jack went up in the air. He went for the fake, and then Jeremy just jumped up like he was going to shoot, and that's an easy foul because he ran into Jarrett Jack, or Jarrett Jack ran into him. Unfortunately, he missed both of the free throws, but it was a really nice move. We've talked more about Jeremy getting better at drawing fouls, and that was a really good example of how to draw a foul properly. With 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, though, this game was 20 points again, and it just gotten away from Houston at that point. However, late in the fourth, Jeremy had two more quick assists. He had one to Omer Asik for a dunk, and then he had another one to Carlos Delfino for an and one layup. So he came out of the game with 1 minute and 57 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and it was just because it was a blowout at that point. So, as I said, you can't really – there's not too much bad to say about Jeremy in this game. Really almost nothing. I think the worst thing you could say about him was he didn't play great defense against Stephen Curry, but then again, nobody else did either. Patrick Beverley didn't do well against Stephen Curry, and Houston's pick-and-roll defense against Stephen Curry was pretty bad. I just remember one example in the second quarter where I think it was the second quarter, might have been the first. Demo was, somebody came up, they set a pick on Jeremy, and so Demo was ending up guarding Curry, and he just had no chance at all. I mean, Curry easily burned him. So, like I said, I really don't have anything bad to say about Jeremy. He did what he could have done in this game, and the team missed too many shots, and the other guys couldn't get it rolling except for James Harden. There are a couple games like this every single year. There's just maybe 5 games where it just doesn't go your way. You just can't shoot. You can't do anything. Nothing goes right. That's what happened in this game, I think, tonight. Now, I'm disappointed by it because it was a big game because they would have gone to number 6. But at the same time, it's just you're going to have a few games like this. So you can't get too stuck on it. The good thing is Jeremy played well. And I believe that Jeremy has had 8 straight games now where he's scored in double figures. So he's beginning to get more consistent. People said, he's up and he's down. He had a good game. Well, now he's put together 2 good games in a row. I believe this is 2 Linsanity 2.0s in a row. And he's starting to steady his performance. So even though tonight was not a good night for the team, I think we are seeing some good things from Jeremy, and that's definitely a good sign. Houston might not be able to get the number 6 seed right now. It's not like Golden State's so great or they're so far away. I mean, they were, I think, a half a game up on Houston, and now they're a game and a half up. So it's not like Houston can't get it. But it's tougher now, certainly. It's tougher now, certainly. They still have the tiebreaker over Golden State, though, because they won the season series 3-1. So if they ended up in a tie with Golden State, then Houston would win that tie. So that's still a possibility. And like I said, I mean, we just have to go from here. It's not what I expected this game to be, but again, you're just going to get a few of these every now and then. Okay, it is 9:57 p.m. on Sunday, March 17th here on the eastern coast of the United States, which means it is 10:57 a.m. currently on Monday, March 18th in Taipei, Taiwan. Now, I'm not going to do any comments in this video. Again, I'm not going to answer comments in this video. I just want to get this video up relatively quickly. I've been really busy the last several days. I haven't had a chance. I wanted to come in and answer more comments from the Game 66 video. I've read most of them. Again, I appreciate all the comments, and I definitely read everything. I just haven't had a chance to answer as many or do any comment videos or even watch Jeremy Lintel channel's Kevin McHale Doubts Lin video. Again, I just have to catch up a little bit on some other things that I'm working on right now, but I'll keep working at that, and I'll try to get into the comments of this video once people watch it and start responding. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be disappointed by this game, and it's too bad. It's too bad because this was a good opportunity for Houston to take the number 6 seed. But again, I just can't get too upset, particularly as watching the game from a Jeremy Lin perspective. Jeremy played well, and the team just couldn't hit shots. And this is Golden State plays a lot like Houston does. Run and gun, shoot. And Golden State was hitting shots and Houston wasn't. And then it starts rolling downhill like a snowball. Before you know it, it's huge and all the momentum's going against you and it's too late. And that's kind of what happened in this game. And like I said, that's going to happen every now and then. And unfortunately, it happened in this game. The next game is going to come in 3 days from now. It is against the Utah Jazz, who they're trying to fight for one of the final playoff spots in the West, along with Houston. That game takes place Wednesday, March 20th in the United States at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast of the U.S., which means the game will take place early Thursday, March 21st at 9 a.m. in Taipei, Taiwan. That's an important game. Regardless of whether Houston's able to get the 6th seed, obviously they need to make the playoffs. And the team that's the odd man out looking in is Utah. So Houston definitely needs to win that game. They need to keep Utah out of the mix so that even if the Lakers pass them up, even if they're not able to get number 6, Houston still is going to make the playoffs and have a spot. So it's good that the team will have 2 days to rest and to practice. That's always a good thing, particularly when you're dealing with a young team and you're dealing with a team that had recent trades. And you saw Aaron Brooks got more time tonight as Kevin McHale continues to try to experiment with the lineups. And that's because of the trades and because of Aaron Brooks being a recent acquisition. Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, I'm surprised I'm not more upset about this loss, but I'm not, just because, again, watching the NBA a lot for a lot of years, you do have games like this. You will get 5 games like this every year. It just things don't work, or you don't hit shots or whatever, and I think that's what this game was. It's just bad timing for it to happen right now. But again, from a Jeremy Lin fan perspective, Jeremy played well. He played real well. He had a couple moments where, he had a turnover here or there. He had 2 turnovers in this game. They weren't terrible. he had one or two shots that maybe weren't great, but every player did that. I mean, there were definitely moments in this game where it was, Harden was doing the ISO hero thing too much. And, it just, like I said, nothing worked tonight for the team overall. Golden State was very focused tonight. They were very focused. They were very active on defense. And Houston they just couldn't put it together. But Jeremy played well. He played real well. And he played more in the Linsanity 1.0 style, which was he was scoring more tonight and passing a little bit less. And that's what he can do. I mean, he can do that, or he can do passing more. So tonight they needed him to score more, and he scored more. So it's great. And that's it. I mean, that's all there is for tonight. And as I said, this is a young team. And it's not a complete team. They need more stuff. They need more inside offense. So that when the guys aren't hitting the three-pointers on the outside, you can do that. You can pass the ball in. And Golden State has more of that than Houston does. You can put the ball into Carl Landry or even Andrew Bogut, and they can score for you. Demo had a little bit tonight, but he was way off. He wasn't shooting well. So his defense wasn't good, so it'll get better. I was happy Thomas Robinson had like 4 rebounds in 3 minutes. Like I said, Thomas Robinson can rebound. But Omer isn't a polished offensive player yet. Neither is Thomas Robinson. Demo is, but his defense is off, and his shooting was off tonight. So there are deficiencies on this team, and you saw some of that tonight. And that's just experience, and if you can get a little bit more talent, then that's what you need to do. And so, as I said, it just kind of didn't work out tonight, unfortunately. But we move on. We move on to the Utah game. Let's win that game and go from there. So that's it for now. Your comments below, thumbs up, thumbs down on this video. Full set of information in the video description below the video player. Box score, game highlights, game stories, and information so you can come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group. If you would like to do that, we have over 2,000 members and counting. I am Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. I hope everybody is having a great night or a great day wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Hang in there. This was a tough loss. It was an unexpected loss, but I think it's going to be okay. And Jeremy played well, so we move on. A couple of days off, team kind of pull it together a little bit, and let's see if we can get a victory against Utah this upcoming Wednesday. Everybody take care. We'll talk to you again soon.